Watch this.
So, I lived a homosexual lifestyle for 16 years. I even was in a commitment ceremony, and we were together for 10 and a half years, almost 11. Prior to that, I was in a relationship for almost 5 years. So I lived a 16-year lifestyle that way. When I was 5 years old, I was molested by a female family member. She introduced me to a lot of things. Pornography at that age, all the way up until I was about 12. In that case, I had someone, a family friend, I was 12, she was 18, asking me if I knew about anything with being with women. Of course, I didn't tell her about the experience I had when I was 5 years old because I didn't know really what that was. So I told her no, and she influenced me to trying that with her. So that was my first actual sexual encounter. I didn't really, even in that point, feel as if I liked women. I would look at women, I would adorn on women, I would think that women were beautiful, and I watched how they carried themselves. I watched them, but I didn't know what that was until about 20 years old. I met an individual who we were friends, and I could literally, this particular day, I will never forget it. I remember sitting with her. We hung out, we did all kinds of stuff together, and I remember sitting with her. And I remember this force hit me. This is something that I don't really talk about because people think, what do you mean force? But I felt something come over me that I'd never felt before. It was so strong that it wasn't even me I felt like anymore. I began to really be attracted to this friend. Extremely attracted to this friend. To the point where this was my new girlfriend. First time that I would even say that aloud. Fast forward all the way to the fact that I ended up in a relationship with someone. And so these are the things that we don't talk about. We see the rainbow, we see, love is love, we see doing all these things. And I went from euphoria in this relationship to silently feeling depressed, suicidal, drinking, clubbing, smoking weed, doing all these things. It started with one thing and it led to so many other things. So I didn't even want to be here for what? I remember laying in the bed with my ex-partner. She's sound asleep. And I'm weeping. Because I said, God, here I am all these years in and I'm all involved. I guess I'm just going to go to hell because I don't know what to do. And I cried to the Lord. And I said, I don't know what to do, so that's where I'm going. And I had no idea, and I use that word hell so loosely because I had no idea that hell is really weeping and gnashing at the teeth. Hell is real. Hell is hot. Hell is eternity. But I use that word so loosely. I guess I'm just going to go there. Not thinking that it's a true place and it wasn't designed for me. And so I remember leaving work one day. I just didn't want to live. I didn't want to do anything anymore. It took me to that place. I just said, you know what? I went from this euphoria to this place, and it looked on the outside like I had everything. House, cars, money, all these things. But inside, internally, I was dead. And so I remember getting in my car, leaving work, just driving. I didn't even hear anything. It wasn't radio. It was anything. I just get in the driveway. I get out of the car. Nobody's home. I go inside. I walk straight up the stairs, go straight through the bedroom, straight to my bedroom closet. I closed the bedroom closet door and I got on my knees. And I asked the Lord to save me, to help me, to get me out of this torment, this misery, to take back every single thing that I believed was taken from me from the time I was 5. And I was crying out to him, real tears. Real tears. This was real. And I remember feeling an embrace in that closet. And I remember my tears drying. And I remember feeling like, I know you're in this closet with me. And I remember feeling like he was waiting on me just to say, help me. And so I stood up out of that closet and I walked out of that closet, and I've never been the same. I'm 7 years later. I got a husband that loves me, that worships with me, that prays with me, that gets the altar in our home and we go to God about what we need in our lives. I'm grateful because he gave me pastors that taught me how to stand up here and say, God is good. He gave me pastors that allow me to come up here and show you guys that, hey, what I praise, when I lift my hands, it's not for you. It's not for them. It's for a God that took me from a place of so much hurt and abandonment and so much pain that I know where my help comes from every day. I'm proud to be delivered.